It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. We all know Art Post. Art Post has a blog out there. It's called P for P Hotel. Folks, you got to go to Art Post blog and sign up for that. He puts out articles every single day. He publishes a lot of my stuff. Anyway, I was sitting there and I was reading an article that he put out there, and the title of it is "It Time to Add an Additional Covenant to Copier Leases?" And Art was talking about the fact that it is marketplace, and it's not just Art's marketplace, it's all the marketplaces across the world for the most part. The customers are deciding to just stay where they're at when the lease ends. We're not going to buy it out. We just want to make the monthly payment. We don't want to do anything. We're not sure what we're going to do with print. Of course, they're not sure what they're going to do with print because all the customers that use print equipment have got an awareness over the global pandemic. And that awareness was this: do we even need these big machines anymore? Do we even need to make sets of stuff? Why are we printing all this stuff in color? Can we run our business without even using printers? That's what they're thinking about. And of course, we don't want to talk about that in an industry that sells print equipment. Of course, our industry that sells print equipment has been bragging to themselves and others about how they've diversified into IT services and they do all this other stuff and they can help customers with IT problems and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, the reality of it is our industry, for the most part, still thinks the box first. Everything else comes second. I want to challenge all the dealers out there and the OEMs as well. Do you know what the dollar value is of all your leases that are in Evergreen? Do you know? I strongly suggest you go look that number up. Because I would imagine some of these mega dealers out there could have $5 or $6 million in Evergreen leases just sitting there. The reps are frustrated because they can't upgrade the equipment. The customer's just paying month to month. The whole industry thinks that's terrible because they get paid to sell what? Print equipment. Even though they could be selling things like this Sharp Interactive board or IT services or all these other products that we claim that we've diversified in to do. We got OEMs going into dealers and yelling at them about, well, you got to buy more product from us. Of course, then the dealer owners are probably going back to the OEM saying, well, if you'd actually deliver the products that we want to buy from you, we'd be buying more products from you. We got back order problems like the industry's never saw in its life, right? I mean, we know that, right? But yet we're still waiting to sell print equipment. We're allowing these customers to go into Evergreen and we think it's a terrible thing. In all reality, I want to ask all the OEMs a question out there. Do we make equipment so bad that it won't last more than 5 years? Seriously. I mean, what's the need to run out there and change out the equipment? Well, the need is that's how the business model was built. We upgrade equipment prematurely most of the time. We overspec and oversell A3. And we don't do this with malice. It's just the business model. That's what we've all made money on doing, right? You go in and you sell equipment. When the lease is nearly up, or 2 years left on it, we go upgrade the equipment. We take the money from this service and we put it toward the hardware. And it's just a perpetual nightmare. It's a broken business model. And the global pandemic should have proved it to everybody. The model's broken. You can't take money from your service department and continually put it on hardware cost in dollars so that reps can make money selling hardware. We need to focus on services. If you looked at all these Evergreen leases that were out there, what else can you sell? How much money can you make off the services, which obviously are a lot more profitable, right? We all know this. Why aren't we doing it? Let's quit talking about how we're kicking butt with IT services and prove it. Let's start sharing our numbers with the world. This is what we're doing in IT. Let's start sharing with our customers ways they could just keep the equipment they have. Just keep the equipment you have. It's nothing wrong with it. Keep the equipment you have and let's give you some security services. Let's give you some interactive technology. Folks, there's a lot of things you can sell these end users besides print equipment that they don't need. Besides print equipment that they have awareness of that they really don't need. Do you see where we're going with this? We need to go in a different direction. We can't be having 1990 conversations. When your OEMs come in there, are they talking to you about the IT services that you're selling for them? Or are they focused on the hardware? Are they telling you that, hey, you got to buy these 5 machines, you're going to get some sorters free? I mean, are we still talking about that? Hopefully they're not calling them sorters. But the reality of it is, these conversations from 1990 have no place in a 2025 world. And until we can figure out how to sell our customers alternative products and services, we're just going to be the copier people that eventually just go away. Just like our friends at Blockbuster, just like our friends at Sears. Just like our friends at Toys R Us. You can't pivot, you can't modify, you can't go where the customers are going, and eventually the customers leave you. Folks, There's a lot to think about, but we all know this. Status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.